So that just goes to show you how good I am at this. I just accidentally stopped the video. So now we have two parts. This is part two. And I thought to myself, oh, I'm going to have to start it all again, or I'm going to have to get someone that's going to run the two videos together. And I just thought, no, I'll just make part one and part two so that I don't make up another story that stops me from releasing my work. There's some persecution wounds here that I'm clearing clearly because, and it feels like a really big one. Being seen on this level is finding quite challenging, but I'm going to push through and I'm going to deliver this information because it's come through to me in a way that I can understand it so that I can deliver it and share it to people, with people, so that they can get a greater understanding. And when we have a greater understanding, it takes away the fear, and that's what's really important, that we step out of this fear, that we stop giving our power over to the fear and allow ourselves to raise our vibration, raise our frequency, so that we can get closer to that love quotient, closer to that love light vibration. So this is my hope for you. Okay, so let's get going. So sniffles, the runny nose, it acts as a carrier. For those of you that haven't watched part one, I'll just go back and say that I'm going through each of the things that are happening to us while we have it, because each of these things serves a purpose. And I was so interested, I was so curious as to what these purposes were. And so they've broken them down for me beautifully and given me lots of different things that are happening to us while we have it, and their benefit, what it is that it's doing, that's the whole purpose for them. So the sniffles and a runny nose. Acts as a carrier for expulsion of old energy from the body. It's twofold. It's lubricating the system and providing fertile ground for ease of integration of the crystalline light body. After this, it's removing lower energies and densities through the collection of phlegm and snot. Provides continual release at a lighter level. It's paving the foreground, which is why we get the sniffles first. Sneezing is a shifting of energy on a lighter level, not as powerful as what is to follow. Anything like sneezing, shaking, burping, laughing, coughing, any of those sort of things can be a shifting of energy. And so the sneezing in this particular circumstance actually absolutely serves that purpose. I found this really interesting. Temperature. Shaking, the cold, and burning is the hot. The high temperature hot is burning away all lower dense energies and energies not in alignment with the energy of the crystalline light body or where we are going as a collective. The shaking, the cold, breaks up what has remained and literally gives us a good shake-up, enabling a release of these energies from the dense hold. Isn't that interesting? Okay, so cough and chest pain. The cough, I could feel was actually peeling away something. I had the physical sensation of something being peeled away, something that was quite densely located or situated on my chest, and that it was peeling as I was coughing. And so I asked them, what's going on there? And they said it was a peeling away of layers of grief and loss that have been held onto or not previously released or transmuted. And of course, our chest, our heart area and our chest is the area where we hold a great deal of grief and loss, energetic grief and loss, those emotions of grief and loss. And, you know, the more that we don't pay attention to it and the more that we layer on top of it, the denser it becomes. And sometimes the harder it is to remove. And so it can take something like this severe, in order to remove those energies. Sleeping. There is a shutting down of the body to affect all areas while the crystalline light body is overlaid, activated, and strengthened. Because when we're sleeping, our systems are at their quietest. They're at their slowest running pace, if you will. And there's a healing that takes place when we sleep. And so if we're sleeping a lot, it sort of gets us out of the way so that we can receive the light body upgrades that are coming. Loss of appetite. This is teaching us how little food we actually need to stay alive and to thrive. We eat in our community, in our society, in the world at large, it's a whole lot more food than what we actually need. And it keeps a density within the body and within the energetic bodies that keeps us heavier in frequency and vibration. And so this was one of the things that came through. The other thing was to drink plenty of fluids, because the fluids will support us in this change, and that the crystalline light body activation is all the sustenance we need at the moment. The appetite will return when needed, and is also allowing all of our systems to be available to the upgrade rather than spending precious energy on the digestive process. This is a big one. This is why fasting can work on a spiritual quest and working to upgrade your frequency or raise your frequency, and that's because the body is actually allowed to focus on the energetic upgrades rather than on the day-to-day running of the body. And so loss of appetite was a good one. Body aches and pains, I found this really interesting. It's the physical effect of the upgrade and changes taking place within the physical body. This also affords us the opportunity to rest, as otherwise some may not listen and stop having downtime and recuperation time during this period. This is imperative at this time, to listen to your body. A great opportunity to live your life this way moving forward, connected deeply to the physical vessel and listening to it and what it needs daily, out of the head and into the heart, out of the mind and into the body. This is also another way we can take back our power of our own physical body and stop looking towards others for direction regarding our own well-being, i.e. giving our power over to the bigger overarching medical system. And really connecting into our body and listening to what it needs. And that may not always be the allopathic road. Sore throat. This is an interesting. I found it all interesting. I was just sitting here in awe of the whole thing that was coming through. So sore throat. It's a clearing of the throat chakra. The pain you are feeling in the throat is directly related to what needs to be shed and linked to the persecution wounds of the past. This is a big one because we're constantly clearing our persecution wounds. There we go. Excuse me. Anybody that is being seen, anybody that's sharing their light, anybody that is on mission and sharing their work, we are clearing persecution wounds. We're clearing them for ourselves, we're clearing them for our ancestors, and we're clearing them for our children. In all time, space, and direction, whenever we're doing our work and we're being seen and sharing our work with the world, we're clearing our persecution wounds, because there was huge persecution wounds. And the sore throat is a symptom of that. And something that we need to continue to work on. Sorry, I got caught reading where I was up to then. Okay, bringing our attention to the need to speak our highest truth at all times, and teaching us that when we don't, we accumulate dense, grimy energy in the throat chakra. Speak your truth, express your needs, share your creations through the voice. Again, linking to the sacral chakra, the sacral chakra with the area of creation, of our most beautiful creations. And linking to the throat chakra and our expression of those creations. Speaking our highest truth is really important. And I can see the energy that accumulates. It's like gravel. It's like little tiny rocks that get stuck in our throat chakra and, causes a whole heap of issues like coughing when we want to speak our truth, or having a raspy voice or a sore throat. Okay, sore joints. Oh, this one was super interesting too. You'll find by the time we get to the end of it, you would have heard me say that a million times, I think, because I'm just so interested by the whole thing. So sore joints is a concentrated area of dense energy. Pay attention to this, because I had pain in my shoulders, and I have bursitis in both of my hips, which didn't really flare up a lot, but my shoulders did. And so it's a concentrated area of dense energy. Pay attention to this. This is a roadmap of where you are holding on to the densest energy in your energetic field and consequently physical bodies. Okay. Dizziness. I had this too. This one really threw me off because I've had issues with dizziness in the past. I couldn't understand what it was. And while I knew it was a rebalancing, I didn't know why. I didn't understand the hows and whys, the real nuts and bolts of it all before. but this came through. So the dizziness is actually a recalibration, a sense of being off balance, anchoring the new energies while still releasing the old. It's having one foot in one camp and one foot in another, giving us that feeling of not really being on solid ground or having sure footing. Choose to move into the new energies with ease and grace while effortlessly releasing the old. This is what can help us with the dizziness. Even after we've gotten better, we might have bouts of dizziness. So we can use that. Choose to move into the new energies with ease and grace while effortlessly releasing the old. Loss of taste and smell. This is an interesting one. So a few of my friends have had this, and I certainly had it too. And we were talking one day and trying to work out what it was. And so this is the information that the Arcturians brought through for me when I had some downtime. These centers are being shut down to enable other abilities to come online. We are working within the confines of a physical body, and should all our senses be available, it could fry the system. As taste and smell are so accessible in the human body, and everyone readily has access to this, this is one of the first systems to go offline, providing more space for the upgrade. It will become activated again as we work with the energy of the upgrade. And mine certainly come back, so that's good. Not completely, but almost. This is another thing that a couple of my friends who are pretty intuitive beings, a lot of starseeds and light workers who have come here to share their light and their wisdom and their knowing and their power, and have a very clear connection with their teams, seem to have a complete disconnection to their teams. And so the Arcturians told me, the Council of Elders told me, that it is a complete shutdown while the energy of the crystalline body is overlaid, activated and strengthened. It's reserving energy. We're still being held by them. This was beautiful, this part. I almost cried when this came through. They said we're still being held by them. They've taken a step back while we integrate the energies, but they're still holding us. They're still there with us. They have not abandoned us. We are not on our own. It may feel like it, but we're not. There is nothing else we have to do but lean into the beautiful opportunity of this upgrade. They are in complete trust of the process and are encouraging us to be too. I thought that was just beautiful. They're there. They're always constantly there, even though we may not feel them or hear them. It's usually for a reason. Again, why is this happening for us? This one is super important. Not important, interesting. And so this has been my experience, losing hair. So it's come through probably 2 or 3 years ago that our hair is our antenna. And it's through our hair that we're able to pick up on really, really subtle and refined energies that we can't in any other way. But if you think about it, the human body, we have quite a lot of hair over our human body. And so we're just like big constant transmitters of information and receivers of information. So our hair is an antenna, and these antennae pick up and relay refined energies, acting as a communication center and link to the physical and energetic world around us. Once we've had it and the crystalline light body has been activated, some will lose their hair and then regrow new antenna that is able to hold and transmit a higher frequency. Isn't that cool? So all of us balding beauties, don't worry, don't fear. We're bringing in a new antenna so that we can pick up more refined energy. I'll go with that. Okay, so a few people have reported having heightened anxiety, either during or after. I've had quite a few people that I've spoken to that have all had this in common, and this just came through today because I'm feeling this within myself, and so I asked my team what this was about, and this is what they said to me. Don't forget that this is a light body upgrade, and that the nervous system needs time to integrate the new higher frequencies. The crystalline light fibers situated at the end of our nerves are hit with a high frequency light. And until this new frequency is completely integrated, it may manifest as heightened anxiety or PTSD, being a little bit more jumpy or even just more sensitive until everything settles back down. What you can do is ask the Arcturians to place you in a healing chamber and to place a healing gel on the crystalline light fibers. So years ago, I was doing some more work with another group, and we were channeling the Arcturians daily for months, for about 8 or 9 hour stints every day, for month after month after month. And one of the things that they showed me is that there is a crystalline, there's like a gel-like substance that they use in order to coat things in. It's like, it's not jelly, but it's a gel, and it's a healing gel that can really help us to feel as though, like, to calm things down a little bit. And so ask the Arcturians for the use of this gel. Ask them to place your crystalline fibers or the nerve endings to place this gel around the end of nerve endings, which is where the crystalline light fibers sit, and that should help. So moving forward, one of the things that we can do to support this change, sorry to slap papers in front of you everywhere, there are some certain things that we can do moving out of it, as we start to heal and start to integrate the crystalline light body and the upgrade. And so they've taken me through a couple of things here that can help us and support us, that we can actually do, empower ourselves in order to make this transition somewhat more comfortable and supportive, to make sure that everything that we've just been through with the light upgrade isn't wasted, you know, and that we can actually help to integrate it beautifully. So diet is a huge subject here. Eat light and clean. Less food. We don't really need as much food as we're eating. Ask yourself when you're eating, are you feeding your emotions or are you feeding your body? And listen really well, because sometimes when we're feeding our emotions, it can be a little bit tricky to understand that that's what we're doing. But connecting with the body is really important. Filtered water, drinking lots of purified filtered water, and no sugar. I'm not even getting less sugar, I'm getting no sugar. Sugar acts as like a shocking agent within the energetic system. It's almost like when we have sugar, our energetic body reverberates constantly. And when it's reverberating, it's not able to be centered and grounded enough to pick up clear information. And this is, you know, you're a big antenna, you're a big receptor, you're a big transmuter and transmitter of energy. And we are antennas within ourselves. We want to make sure that our antenna is accessing clear frequency. And we're not able to do that with an excess of sugar in the diet, which then plays out in our energetic field. This is a very strong message about the sugar, and also to cut down or remove meat and animal products from the diet. There's a lot of fear energy in meat, a lot of dense energy in meat, and not something that we need coming out of it. I will let you know I am not a medical practitioner nor a nutritionist or anything to do with that. I can merely share with you the channeled messages that have come through in order to support ourselves moving out of this and working through the transition and the integration. Meat is quite dense and holds a lot of fear energy, and then that fear energy is ingested. Enjoy a light plant-based diet. Again, this is only a recommendation. Please check with your medical practitioners before you take any of this information on board. Nature. Spend time in nature daily. This is our natural state of being. We came from the earth and we will return to the earth again. Connect with the nature spirits and ground daily. And even as I'm talking to you now, they're showing me the earth star. Fear really sits between the base chakra and the earth star, and it serves to disconnect us from the earth. And the more that we're disconnected from the earth, the more the fear energy grows. It's almost like it can get a hold if it can disconnect us, our physical bodies, from the earth. And so it's really important to ground daily. And when you're grounding, to send those roots right down into your earth star and see the light filling and like blowing up and expanding the earth star, your earth chakra. And then following on even further and connecting down into the center of the earth. It's beautiful grounding daily. So ground daily either through visualization or by physically placing your feet in the earth. Go and stand on the grass, go for a walk, you know, sit down on your bottom on the grass, take your shoes off, put them in the dirt, however it is that you feel like you'd like to ground physically by connecting with the earth, that's your message of what would serve you the best. Raise your vibration. Now, we hear a lot about this, but how is it that we can actually raise our vibration? Connect with like-minded people. Cultivate joy and love every day. Joy and love and bliss is our natural state of being. Again, if we're coming from that one true prime creator source energy, that energy of oneness, then we are the energy of bliss. We are the energy of joy. We are the energy of love. And we tend to forget that when we squash our beautiful big oversoul into this little tiny 3D body. We come down to earth and we start to be inundated and sort of get squashed by the energies, the denser energies. But we are actually naturally one of love and joy. And it's important to cultivate that and connect with that daily. Remove and transmute fear from the energetic bodies. Work on transmuting belief systems. Open and clear the third eye, our truth center, and the crown chakra, our connection to the one true prime creator source energy and our higher selves. Ground the physical body every day and strengthen the earth chakra, the earth star, and start asking questions instead of blindly believing. When we start to ask questions, it helps to open the third eye chakra, it helps to remove that veil and disconnect us even further from the matrix, which is a hologram, really. Sunlight. This is a good one. Sunlight plays an important role here. New light codes are carried on the rays of the sun. And I see them. This is how I see light codes when I'm taking a snapshot of them and drawing them for people. I see them in the sun's rays. And so our grand central sun is actually filtering these light codes in through our sun that's then being delivered to us. And these light codes are really, really powerful. Amazingly light-filled, high vibe, high frequency light codes. And so get sunlight and allow it to hit the heart center. Allow the sun to rest in this center and breathe it in. Allow it to just permeate through all your light bodies. New light codes are carried on the rays of the sun. Make yourself available to the healing upgrades by physically accessing the sun every day, if only for a couple of minutes. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, be filled by the warmth and healing comfort of the sun. Then they gave me information about water. Drink purified water every day. Our mainstream water is poisoned, affecting the shutdown of the pineal gland and the pituitary gland. Boiling water only strengthens this, calcifying the water, which then calcifies these centers. Must get good quality drinking water and cooking water. Some of us might be drinking it, but we're not cooking in it. And so get the most purified water that you can afford. And that's about it. There was some really, really great information that came through. My hope is that by me downloading this information and sharing it with you, that it will remove some of the fear by providing clarity and comfort and knowing that all of this is happening for us. It's not happening to us. We're not out of our power. We're not disempowered here. We've actually signed up to be here at this time, at this precise moment, in order to have this exact experience. And a lot of us are here in order to share our wisdom so that we might be a midwife, if you will, of, the birthing of the new earth. I certainly feel as though that's part of the reason that I'm here. And so for those of you who don't know, you can go to my website. It's www.D.A.A.M.A.com.au. And if you liked the video today, please like and subscribe and leave me a comment. I'd love to be able to talk to you and connect with you. I'm a person just like you, just a normal everyday person who is not very extraordinary and absolutely extraordinary in every way, shape and form, just like you. And I'd really like to connect with you. So if this is something that you liked or there's something else that you would like to have information delivered on, let me know. Jump in the comments and let me know. So for now, I'll say goodbye. Big love to you and see you next time. Bye.